In last place is the Archer. At 0 stars, the Archer can only attack the Grand Warden 5 times, but is able to destroy the shield. In joint last place comes the Miner. In a 1v1 where the Grand Warden is attacking the Miner struggles to even break the shield of the Grand Warden. The Giant Skeleton comes next. At 0 stars, the Giant Skeleton has a slow hit speed, which is not helped by its ability being a knockout ability, only taking place after the death of the Giant Skeleton. The Fisherman is next. Its base ability is a clash ability that pulls the enemy 2 rows forward. This would be very useful pulling in the Grand Warden in a real game since it is a ranged hero. However, due to the slow attack speed, it struggles against the Grand Warden. The Knight comes next. Its first ability is called Mocking and taunts enemies for 2 seconds. Unfortunately, the taunt area is too small to affect the Grand Warden. The slow attack speed means that the Knight struggles to take out the Grand Warden's shield and loses the first round. Next comes the Lumberjack. The low HP does not help, coupled with the knockout ability, which makes it that the Lumberjack can't even take out the shield of the Grand Warden. The Skeleton's Guard Shield Up Clash ability provides a chunky amount of extra hit points, which nearly allows it to take out the Grand Warden's shield. The Ice Wizard is next. The slow ability is helpful since the Grand Warden has a fast attack speed, but the low hit points of the Ice Wizard did not last too long in this 1v1. The Healing Ranger's base ability provides a generous number of hit points, which helps it take out the Grand Warden's shield in this 1v1. The Wizard's base ability provides Splash, but since this is a 1v1, this does not help, and the low hit points means that it struggles against the Grand Warden. The Spear Goblin's Clash ability deals 10 damage, which instantly takes out the Grand Warden's shield, but the extra damage takes out the Spear Goblin quickly. The Mega Knight, being the highest HP mini in the game, allows it to get 2 Skyfall stuns, which helps it to take out the Grand Warden's shield comfortably. The Barbarian does not have a base ability, which does not help. If the Barbarian had extra stars, it would be able to do a lot more damage to the Grand Warden. The Dark Goblin's high hit speed allows it to stack up increasing hit speeds, which takes out the Grand Warden's shield in the end. Next comes the Golden Giant, which has a high HP and stun for a super. It is also able to destroy the Grand Warden's shield before dying. The Musketeer comes next. The stun from the ability is shot at the perfect time when the Grand Warden loses its shield and gains an attack buff, allowing it to do a good job against the Grand Warden. The Battle Healer has a percentage healing amount, which can be seen by how well it does compared to the Healing Ranger. The high HP it has also helps to comfortably take down the Grand Warden shield. Similar to the Musketeer, the Electro Wizard's stun takes place just after the Grand Warden shield is taken out, which wastes the boost in damage the Grand Warden receives, allowing the Electro Wizard to get some extra damage in before dying. To my surprise, the Witch did a lot better than expected. Even with no skeletons, it was able to take out the Grand Warden's shield, and even if there was a lot of skeletons, the Grand Warden would struggle to take them out since it has minimal splash damage. The Bowler's Clash ability does 8 damage, which is nearly enough to take out the Grand Warden's shield. Since it has much more health and deals more damage than the Spear Goblin, it does a much better job against the Grand Warden. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. was able to take out the Grand Warden's shield quickly due to the high DPS, but since it's a melee unit, it took a lot of damage from the explosion from breaking the shield. The Swordsman's ability is really strong in the current meta, and with no stars, it takes out the Grand Warden's shield and half of the Warden's health. But similar to the Mini P.E.K.K.A., the damage from the shield breaking was too much for the Swordsman. The Valkyrie has a lot of hit points and is able to last quite long against the Grand Warden. The increasing speed of the attacks helps to take out the Grand Warden's shield. The Magic Archer has the same damage as the Mini P.E.K.K.A., but since it is a ranged unit, it doesn't get affected by the damage by the Grand Warden's shield breaking and is able to comfortably bring down the Grand Warden to nearly half health. The Prince does the best out of all the Clash abilities since it deals the same amount of Clash damage as the Bowler and has a 3-second stun. It comes very close to taking out the Grand Warden if the Clash hits. The P.E.K.K.A. is one of the minis with RNG. In this matchup, I was lucky enough for the first hit to be a critical and instantly take out the Grand Warden's shield, and was very close to taking it out if the other shots were also a critical. There are only 2 minis in the game that can take down the Grand Warden with no stars, the Bandit being one of them. Since the Bandit dashing resets the Grand Warden's attack, it essentially dodges the Grand Warden and is able to freely take it out. The other mini being the Royal Ghost, the strongest mini currently in the game. It also follows a similar pattern to the bandit and is not attacked by the Grand Warden, being free to take it out.